Oh, hi. Clone Wars is back. Oh boy, yeah, this is great. I absolutely love this era of Star Wars, the Clone Wars, and I can't wait to see this series properly concluded as it was originally intended. Also, I'm starting my YouTube channel next month, which will no doubt be incredibly successful immediately with an incredible increase in subscribers. That virus in China is a little scary, but it's probably no big deal, right?
Everything's coming up Millhouse.
Well, I guess we're all disappointed. Except about Clone Wars, that was actually pretty good. So, Star Wars The Clone Wars, Season 7. I liked it. I don't know if that's like a controversial opinion or whatever, but I mean, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I just love this show, and even if it's just for 12 episodes, I love that we're going to be able to see it properly concluded. Like I said in the opener, you need proof of how much I love this show. Just look at all my toys here. A lot of them are Clone Wars. Look at this. This is my first Star Wars action figure. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Snow Planet episodes of the Clone Wars. Not Hoth. And check this out. It's a Clone Wars Yoda Yo-Yo. A Yo-Yoda. A Yoda-Yo. A Yoda-Yoda? I don't know anymore. I liked all the arcs. I know not a lot of people do, but I thoroughly enjoyed all of them. So I guess I'll talk about each of them individually now. First, I guess we'll look at the Bad Batch arc. I know it's not necessarily what people were looking forward because it doesn't tie into the Maul and Mandalore stuff that people really seem to latch onto with this show. I'm guilty of that too, but whatever. I like this arc. Side note, Maul and Mandalore would be a kick-ass name for a Star Wars role-playing game. Honestly, I don't think people would have been as upset with this arc if it had been like the last arc of season 6 or whatever instead of the first arc of season 7. It's just, there'd been like a 6-year wait since the last episodes came out, and I guess this isn't necessarily what people were looking forward to with that. So in this arc, Rex and Anakin work with a group of specially genetically modified clones with unique talents, and they find out that Echo is alive, which is interesting because I didn't even know he died, honestly. I watched the episode, I can never seem to catch that Echo dies in it. It's just, I don't know what it is. I don't really pay attention when I watch things, though, so that's probably to blame. Usually I'm doing something else, like playing solitaire or writing a video script. Alright, it's on to the next arc. I know everyone kinda hates this one, but I'm a filthy Lucasfilm shill. I liked it. I thought it was fine. Again, I guess it doesn't tie into the Maul and Mandalore stuff that people really like, but I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good story for Ahsoka. Honestly, I think if the show had more episodes, we could have done like 3 or 4 arcs just following solo Ahsoka and the characters she meets. I think the Martez sisters are fine characters. No, they're not the best characters in all of Star Wars, but they're fine. They're good. I like them enough. Also, as someone who doesn't read the comics, as someone who doesn't read many of the comics, the underground world of Coruscant is still pretty cool to explore. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it seems really interesting with a lot of storytelling possibilities, possibly through some sort of television program. Ahsoka is such a strong character, and the story she's in is actually pretty interesting and novel. I think that the arc is pretty good. I think those two things carry it, and I think it's really cool to see. Alright, it's on to the last arc. The one that everyone likes. It's... Wait, what do you call this? The Order 66 arc? I don't know, but I mean, even I, a filthy Lucasfilm shill, will concede that, yeah, this one's better than the other two. I mean, I like it for the same reasons as everybody else, because I'm incapable of forming opinions for myself. I really like, that we get to see Ahsoka and Rex's relationship, like that we get to see Order 66. I also like that it's concurrent with, Episode 3. It's really, it's a really, really rad arc. It's, probably one of the darkest of the Clone Wars, just because of, all the clones dying. Spoilers? Yeah, that's a spoiler. Oh, frick. Oh, God, I'm gonna be canceled. But, yeah. This arc is really good. You should watch it if it sounds interesting. Ties into Maul and Mandalore in Episode 3, and yeah, it's pretty rad. Although, it does raise some questions. Questions like, is this season even canon? And by canon, I don't mean canon to canon. I, of course, mean canon to Legends. That kind of canon. Confused? Me too. In Legends, aren't this show and the 2003 2D animated Clone Wars show supposed to be, both happening? Like, they happen sort of around each other? But don't both portray different, mutually exclusive scenes of Anakin and Obi-Wan finding out that the Chancellor has been kidnapped? It seems contradictory and a little weird. And, this season might not fit into Legends, which would be a shame. These last 4 episodes have a very unique feel to them, too. Partially because of that despecialized Lucasfilm logo they have at the beginning, and I don't think any other episodes of Star Wars The Clone Wars have the Lucasfilm logo on there, so that was an odd choice, but interesting choice for sure. Good choice, maybe. I also like the red Clone Wars logo. That is a nice callback to the old Maul episodes from, I don't know, I want to say Season 5, Season 4, Season 5. And I thought that was a very cool choice. Still looks kind of weird with the different, actual Star Wars, the Clone Wars logo with the Star Wars on top. I don't know, I kind of like it the other way, the way it used to be. I also like how it's sort of set up like a mini-series, like it's a 4-part mini-series or 4-part episode or something. I feel like this maybe should have been the Clone Wars movie and not the actual Clone Wars movie. On top of that, I think that it might be George Lucas's real last significant creative hand in Star Wars. I mean, he created the show. He is credited as creator in the credits. And this amazing show wouldn't be possible without him. Star Wars as a whole wouldn't be possible without him. Love him or hate him, old George was very important to the franchise. Although, I think that this is a pretty good end for the Clone Wars. Don't tune out yet. This time, the conclusion is scripted. I mean, it's a pretty great Star Wars show. It's a pretty great Star Wars show and a great show in general. I'm not sure I can think of a Star Wars show that actually surpasses it in quality. But that might be just because I'm nostalgic for it. This show defines Star Wars to me. This is what I think of when I think of Star Wars, because I grew up when it was coming out. When I think of Star Wars, the first thing I think of is not like Luke blowing up the Death Star, or the twist at the end of Empire, or any of those things from the original trilogy or even the prequels. I think about this toy Captain Rex helmet that my friend had that could play sound effects from the show. That's the first thing I think of when I think of Star Wars. That and Obi-Wan here. Again, Clone Wars. I this show is Star Wars, and I am so glad that it got a proper conclusion after being off the air for 6 years.